All right, all right, all right. And no, that is not my best Matthew McConaughey impersonation, so no judgment, please. Hey, sweet. Um, Thanks for everybody that tunes in or watching this, whether it's live, remote, you know, from now, year from now, whatever it is. This has actually been pretty fun, and um, yeah, just getting some private feedback from folks who are even after the fact and watching clips, which is just so exciting, so encouraging to know that y'all are paying attention and that hopefully some of this stuff is out even the slightest bit. Thank you for everybody that's kind of following along and taking interest in this. I think if any other feedback you have, if 15 is too long, happy to cut it down to 10 minutes. I got no problem being even shorter and to the point. If 15 minutes is not enough, if you got more information that you want to learn, let me know. If you think doing these more often is helpful or beneficial for you or for your team, and more than anything, or I say we, I'm more than happy to do this for your specific team. Um, I know this past weekend did two separate ones for different teams and got a lot of great feedback from the players that were able to jump in. That was just general conversation over what they are doing, what they can, and what they're working towards or should work towards. So anybody that's got a team out there is interested in doing this. It's just an added touch point with the players, with your teammates. Just some can hopefully give some back and good information that you can help hold each other accountable during this time and accountable, but even just staying connected, right? Staying good teammates and good friends on and off the field as well. So yeah, if there's any interest in that, again, send us a message, email, comment, whatever. Let me know, and we'll be happy to get in touch and have a conversation. But moving on, topic of the day: snacks. I was gonna try and add some music or hip hop song or whatever, fist pumping, but not that technically proficient just yet. So one of the common things that keeps popping up, at least here recently, is some folks starting to notice that hey, my cupboard is getting empty um, a lot quicker than usual, and of course, I mean that's it's kind of obvious, right? Most of us are spending more time at home. You typically have 8-9 hour block that you're away from home, whether you're at school or work, wherever it is, and so, that shopping habit might be a little bit, or previously might have been a little bit easier to justify, getting that big bag of whatever it is, whatever your favorite to is. Maybe it's just a bag of M&Ms or hard candy or who knows, whatever. Then you might start noticing that you're getting a few more of them throughout the day. That when you're at work or at school, it's easier to kind of have that self-discipline and restraint, so to speak, to to avoid that, to control those servings or the frequency that you're consuming those or frequenting the candy bar. And of course now with anxiety heightened and some of the stress levels heightened because of work or school or the whole the whole situation that we're in, we might be kind of favoring or leaning towards the snack cabinet or the candy cupboard a bit more frequently, as kind of that I guess as some would call it emotional eating kind of thing. So if that's the case, right? If that's something you're first and foremost, I mean, don't get down on, right? Like we're all hitting those moments, and me personally, I'm seeing myself going. In fact, last week was an unusual experience because I find myself leaving the office and just going and it was actually kind of a scavenger hunt through the kitchen, opening different cabinets, looking in, trying to find something that kind of piqued my appetite. And there were things I'd look at and be like, you know what? Yeah, that's good, but I know I don't need to eat a lot of it, so I'd shut the door and move on to the next cabinet. And after I really started kind of scratching my head a little bit about what the heck is going on here. We had things around that I knew wasn't I didn't consuming a lot of it, and so it was fortunate that I was able to have that control, but I still found myself with those things of I need to eat something, and so it just got me thinking and having a couple of conversations, with some other athletes around. So let's say for example, if your favorite snack or go-to, if you typically bite, it's real easy to just constantly go back, just get a small handful. And initially you think, well, it's only a handful at a time, but 3, 4, 5 visits later, you're definitely kind of up a lot more than what you typically do. And then of course you do that a couple of days in a row, and you start wondering why, the scale is climbing if you're that way, or your energy levels are spiking, or whatever it is that you're using as your measurement assessment. And it got me thinking that, what, last week we talked about routines and about setting structure patterns, and the conversation around snacks and snack time kind of got me thinking, well, this might be a good time to kind of reframe our shopping list, our grocery shopping around what we have available for snacks. And I think, probably butcher the quote, but Dr. John Berardi has a real nice kind of philosophy that he follows. It's kind of his goal in nutrition, in that if there's something around the house that is not desirable or supportive of your nutrition goal, then it's only a time that yourself or someone that you love or someone that you even actually tolerate will end up eating. Right? And it's kind of one of those things that, well, if it's not good for me, it's probably not good for them. Now, it's not saying that you shouldn't do those things, but again, you might just have to reassess or restructure how you prepare it. So if you get those, if you get that big mass bag because it is economical to buy it in bulk, and think about, okay, well, how can I package this in a way that's going to be easier to manage my cravings throughout the day? Maybe it's in small snack size Ziploc bags, or smaller storage containers. And when you come from the store, you portion it out, and then you can kind of manage in terms of, okay, whenever I get these cravings or whenever I pick this, I only get one bag. I'm not getting a handful, because that's a little more difficult to track and to manage and monitor throughout the day. Something else that crossed my mind yesterday is some of the snacks that we've had around. I mean, just bags of nuts and granola and those things. Like, yeah, it's tasty and yummy in the moment, but it's not fulfilling, right? Like I grab something like that, and 30 minutes later, I'm going back and looking for something else. So maybe having smaller portions of something a bit more filling. Like protein, some sort of protein source, whether it's beef jerky, and if you can get those and get them in the individual sticks, or something that I might experiment with this week or this weekend, is maybe getting a package of chicken wings, and roasting them up, whatever flavor, and just having those available. That way, when I have those things, even just getting one wing, it's a little snack, but the protein is going to be a bit more filling. It's going to keep filled up a bit longer than say a handful of granola, or a handful of peanuts or almonds or whatever the heck it is. So that was kind of the big thing for today, is around snacks. is, if you catch yourself kind of into that trend a little bit, revisiting the cabinets more than usual, or maybe even more than you prefer, then just kind of have a think about it, right? All right, hey, is what I'm eating, is there a way that I can repackage it to kind of get a better hold on the quantities that I'm consuming throughout the day. And if you're not familiar with it, something that's actually been kind of fun for me to use, and it's definitely been a help, is a small tool called the kitchen safe. We actually saw it on, I think it was Shark Tank a couple of years ago. Uh, you know, it, it's easy to think, well, I don't need that kind of stuff. I can control it, but um, it's been extremely helpful in some circumstances. Like keep a small little piece of dessert in there, or let's say a dessert bar in there, and even just setting it for like 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of walking away from it, that item is locked up. I can't access it. And then after about 10 minutes, that craving goes away. Whereas before, if I had access to it nonstop, I'd a little bit and I'd walk away and be like, you know what, that was good, and I'm going for more. Next thing I know, I'm 4 or 5 pieces in. So again, the kitchen safe has really been helpful in, again, just being that trigger of, okay, locked up, it's put away, and even mentally moving on to kind of the next thing, and getting refocused back onto my task. So key things, again, just kind of viewing key things for snacks, right? First and foremost, if there's something that you can do to repackage it, easier to manage and monitor. Two, look at and see if there's maybe a better option, right? Maybe rather than getting milk chocolate, maybe you go for dark chocolate. One of the athletes that we work with, they kind of had that chocolate, so they started going to granola bars that have a little bit of chocolate inside, right? Chocolate was kind of ingredients, and so was a granola bar the best option? No, probably not. But just that little bit of inside gave them that, or kind of scratched the itch, so to speak. And then the granola itself was still overall a better option than just straight chocolate. So again, if there's like the next option available, and then lastly, kind of look and see, maybe is there a different option altogether? Maybe rather than going for something that's going to be a carb source or fat, is there a good protein that I can get? Maybe it's getting the chicken fillets or chicken tenders, and just have a chicken tender, right? Not a whole serving of them, but just a single chicken tender. Again, just kind of settles that craving a little bit. It's a clean protein source that you don't have to worry about. It's going to hold you over to that next meal. Again, or if you want, right, try jerky. That's a good option as well. But again, just some things that I've started to notice in my routine, and had a few conversations with other athletes that are experiencing similar situations in regards to constant cravings throughout the day, or hey, I'm home all the time. I'm not typically surrounded by this as frequently as I am when I go to work or go to school. I can put these aside. I'm not tempted by them. Of course, now that we're not forced, now that we're staying home more often, more regularly than usual, your shopping habits might still be in that same pattern, and so therefore you're faced with temptation a lot more frequently than what you normally would be. So again, nothing to beat yourself up over. Like everything else, it's an opportunity to grow awareness, gain awareness of your habits, of your routine, and to start looking at assessing, hey, is there something else? Is there, what's the next best option that I can do, right? You don't have to go from level 3 to a level 10, right? It's not what we're trying to do. Just figure out, okay, well, if this is a level, level 4, right? How do I get to level 5, right? Don't make too big of a jump all at once. So, so again, hope that you find something in there helpful. This whole situation, and again, trying to improve your environment. Again, if you have any questions, any kind of burning curiosities or whatever, leave a comment, send us a message, a direct message, email universalsportsstrength@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to schedule a conversation with you, with your team, maybe with one of your teammates. And again, for listening and staying locked this long, we've got a special group, exclusive group that we've started on Facebook, our kg to km or kilograms to kilometer squad. It's reserved for the athletes that we're working with, and special guests. We're providing resources and tips, strategies, and techniques to that group specifically that don't post or don't share in our public group. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's something that you want to learn more about, then again, hit us up. And as an added bonus, the first join that group get exclusive access to our setting program, which is a series of videos that go deeper. They take a deeper dive into our 12 high performance habits, and kind of we're not explaining the X's and O's, but just more theory around why those things are important and how you can or should be incorporating those into your daily routine. So for example, the habit of right, we're not going through and encouraging a type of meal or a certain type of diet. It's going to change from one athlete to the next based on dietary restrictions, food allergies, preferences, etc. Right, so we're not advocating certain types of diets, but again, just giving some principles that you consider and kind of utilize in your routine. Same thing for like workouts, for example. We're not sitting here advocating that this type of workout is better than this type of workout, but again, key questions that we see constantly popping up with athletes that they maybe neglect or overlook when they're kind of arranging their personal workout program. So again, that's one of the added features of being in the KG to KM squad, the private Facebook that we have available for our athletes. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, curious to learn more about it, hit us up and we'll be happy to share more and answer any questions you have. But other than that, stick with it, right? Routine, setting the goals, right? It's better to have a goal and pivot than have no goal at all. So, if you're curious about how you can reframe that goal or restructuring that strategy for what you have available, again, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to have a conversation around that. But keep trucking, team, and we'll be back on Thursday.